I'm gonna hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The lyric scientist lab.
Shoobity-doo bop 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 pow wow shwah, wham, boom. That is the sound of me entering the room and entering the chat, your chat.
You've done that before.
I have done that before, but I like doing it. I like doing it because it reminds me of Randy Marsh, who is hilarious. But welcome. It's Stan's dad from South Park. Regardless.
Don't watch stuff for South Park.
Oh.
I know it's good, like, comedically, but I've just never seen it. I mean,
okay.
I've seen it. I've just...
It's not something you would sit down and take the time to watch.
Doesn't tickle my balls.
But this will. The 258th episode of the Mad Scientist Lab podcast with Jared, Lee, and RJ. And this week is super important. Before we get any further into this excellent show that we're about to provide to you, the viewers and the listeners, is that this week you have to do your civic American duty and vote. Get up off your keister, get up off the commode, make sure that you wipe and wash your hands, okay? Washing your hands is important because we're about to be eaten by moon species. Go in that public library, that voting booth, that high school auditorium, the basketball, under the bleachers, and vote Jared Lee 2024. All right.
Plus...
Oh, I like that. That was really good.
Merchandise will probably come down after the election, so if I don't win, then you're going to be out of luck.
You know what? For Christmas, dude.
I should take these down. Yes. Yeah. You know what? Limited edition. If you don't buy it now, you won't get it.
Yeah, that's right. Come on.
After the election, these are the mugs are gone, the hat's gone. I mean, we'll have other stuff, but I just don't know what to put up yet.
And with the results of the election, I have taken it upon my liberty, or my own personal liberty, there we go, to make sure that next weekend we have a special guest that will come over.
See, you got to stop doing that. You got to let me know.
I haven't done anything yet.
You got to let me know.
Don't worry. This is going to work out.
Well, don't announce it to people if it's not happening. We don't know what's happening yet.
I know everything. I don't know anything, actually. You're right. You're right. I'm getting ahead of myself. But, something occurred this week, Jared, and it sparked a thought in my head, and I wanted to know what you thought about it. It's very silly, but it doesn't annoy me, but I'm like, why is this like this? So at work, I was working like most of us do.
Well, we kind of figured that out by you saying you were at work.
Well, some people go to work and they don't do anything. Shame on you. You lazy bastards.
That's me every day in my job.
I hate you. Anyway, so I go to use the restroom. Go up, go to the urinal, do my business, and I go over to wash my hands. Now, in this day and age, all these electronic soap dispensers, they're everywhere. They're in any bathroom that you can find. Sometimes you'll find the old hand-fashioned pump. I was upset how many times I had to put my hand under this thing to get the proper amount of soap to lather my hands.
Oh, they don't work well. Do you think those are bad? Try the ones in the airport. The airport ones are the worst.
So I am in the belief that in order to thoroughly wash your hands, you need at least 2 drops that are the size of a quarter.
That is way too much soap. The size of a quarter?
Well, a quarter is, okay, here, let's say this. Let's say 2 nickels. Is that fair?
That's still a lot. You don't need. Okay, what kind of soap is it? The fizzy soap or is it the just regular liquid soap?
Well, it's the foam soap that comes out.
Okay, all right, that's different. Okay,
so okay.
Technically, since it's already in foam form, you don't really need water.
This is true, but I've never lived in a world where I haven't washed my hands without water, so that would not cross my mind.
I mean, the water washes it away, but
I was like sticking my hand under it, and I was like, and I was like, not enough. Then I went under again. And I was like, I need more.
Hey, hold on. Epic, if I got to go, then I got to go. Oh, poop in the urinals. No, I don't.
We don't do that here.
Never done that.
We don't know what it's like in Wisconsin. We're sure it's great. But if that's something you guys do up here, it's not done in the DMV.
Oh, I saw something today about something that happened in Milwaukee.
Oh, really?
I was like, these motherfuckers. I was like, I don't know about Wisconsians. I don't remember what it was now. I got to remember what it was.
All right. Well, when you do remember, please let us know.
Yep.
But I just had to stick my hand under the dispenser like 4 times. Okay. I got enough. I wasn't upset. But it just, I don't know. It was a random thought. I was like, why is this like this? What is the proper portion of soap that you need to wash your hands? And you fucking better wash your hands. Okay. Because me and Jared, we've gone to a lot of bars. We've talked to a lot of drunk people. We talked to a lot of women. Sometimes. And we've seen people not wash their hands. Shame on you. Shame on you. Wash your hands.
I'll venture out to say that women are the biggest culprit of this atrocity to mankind.
It's funny you say that because I'm almost convinced, and we've heard lore around it because we've never been in one, But
Speak for yourself, bro.
I've been in a woman's bathroom before. Okay.
I had to clean them before.
Well, it's crazy as I've had to do that too. But regardless, I'm going to tell you that if you go into a women's bathroom, it probably looks like someone threw a fucking grenade in there. I bet you they just blow up everything. In high school, there was a rumor in our high school that we attended, at least when I was in middle school, on the middle school side, that there was a couch in the girls' bathroom. Never got in there, never got confirmation. I just believed it and ran with it my entire life.
What is this, a club?
I guess it's a club. I mean, it's a bathroom, so I guess.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I've seen it before.
I've personally never seen a couch in a bathroom. In any capacity.
It's usually just like by the door, and then there's like, it's like it's not connected to the bathrooms per se.
I got you. Well, yeah, I
it's just like, it's like a little lounge. I don't know. Women do weird things, bro.
I understand that, and that's okay. We're not hating by any means, but it just, I don't know. It just blows my mind because I go into some bathrooms. All right, they're well cleaned. I go into some bathrooms, it's like, oh my God, someone's been murdered in here. But, Jared, I think you might be right. Women's bathrooms might be worse. I don't know.
Well, I wasn't saying they're worse. I'm just saying they're
diabolical.
They're, what was it called? They're just the worst at washing their hands after they handle their business. And they all have to sit on the fucking toilets. I don't know. They don't have to sit on it. I guess they kind of squat, but
yeah.
They're still touching more than what we're touching, because although the urinals are fucking disgusting too, because the water, the fucking urine splashes back on your hands and your clothes.
So we're going to stop talking potty talk for a moment and remind you that you need to wash your fucking hands. For the love of God, please. That's all I got to say about that. I just wanted to bring it up. I want you guys to let us know how you feel about the proportions of soap that you receive when you wash your hands, and you better do it. And I'm very proud that
these are the great things that humanity should weigh in on, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'm not saying it's not great, but it just, I don't know, dude. I was just standing there, and I was like, what does Jared feel about this? I was like, why the fuck do I have to stick my hand under this 80 times and to try to do the right thing?
Well,
this is why people are sick, because they're getting not adequate amounts of soap.
No, it's because they don't fucking wash their hands
or the other.
All.
You sick bastards. That just blows my mind. Blows my mind. But regardless,
yeah, exactly. No, I'm reading what Epic said.
I know.
Exactly what it is. We got to bring this back for you.
It's been a while.
Clearly,
it's been a while. But I'm glad that you're here. Show's rolling. We're going strong. Do you know what else is strong? My will to win, or at least not this last Tuesday.
Not Grogu's fucking drinking abilities. That's not strong, because he's looked like he's a little leaning.
No, dude, he is toasty over there. I see him in the camera. Let him lean, baby. Let him lean. It's all right, buddy. So I was talking very briefly. Shout out to Cheeto for coming over last week, Vice President-elect. Okay, and I've been playing Call of Duty. And hold on, I won't make this a whole tangent, but I
already is.
I thought about it, so I played through the entire campaign this past week.
I don't want to hear anything about it, because I might play it. I don't know.
I just want to tell you, it's one of the best campaigns I've played in one of those games in a long time. I think you would really like it. So I dive into multiplayer. RJ, the old 36-year-old, hopping back into his roots. getting up with the boys.
You look 36 when I was watching you.
Yes. So I want to tell you, for the first couple days, I'm going in not with a full team, going in with a buddy or two, winning a few games, unfortunately dropping a few. It's new. I'm learning the maps. I'm learning what weapons and perks that kind of mesh the best together.
Bro, even yesterday, it was the same thing. All I heard last night was, "Oh, come on, man."
That one game on Nuketown was pretty bad. I won't lie. I'll give. I've learned to humiliate.
Oh yeah,
myself.
like, y'all had just got it. It was a game in progress. You were complaining about it being a game in progress.
Yeah, it's two of like, why are we in a game in progress, dude? The other team's already got like a chopper in the air, and I don't want to. I'm gonna lose anyway, so I might as well get some points. But it's okay. So. I'm doing okay. I'm trying to get my stats to where I'm comfortable with them. And so Tuesday night comes. I'm pumped. I didn't play Monday night because the Steelers played. Here we go. And I get home from work. I'm excited. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get online. I had a team of 5. All right. We won a good handful of games. We lost 2, unfortunately. It happens just by a few kills because some people, it's their first night playing. The game is still new. So I decided after
Sounds like a bunch of excuses.
So I decided after everybody got off, and I know not to do this, but the game is new and I'm having fun. I'm like, you know what? I can carry. I lost 8 games in a row. Okay, and this is what
you can't carry.
I did everything in my fucking power, everything to try to win, try to live, try to everything. And the Call of Duty gods were punishing me for the first time in a long time. I cannot.
These emotes are fucking crazy.
What are I can't?
It's like the Pepe frog passing one frog a bomb and then he blows up.
Dude, the internet is wild.
Yeah.
8 games. Okay, one I was now. So if you know me, when I play, when I lose, I don't like going to bed on a loss. I don't like doing that. It's not a good way to go to bed. So I am content on winning a fucking game, and I just keep losing one after the other, and man, was I annoyed.
So you did the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
Yes. Oh my God, bro. I don't. You losing games, that happens.
You're supposed to just like, you know what? Maybe I need a break.
So as I was raging in front of my television as quietly as I could, or I thought I was being quiet because I am not a quiet individual, as we all know. I decided I was so devastated, and it made me think. And then that thought ran through my head. Oh my God, I'm getting old. I can't keep up with the young bucks anymore. Dope ain't shit. It was all rattling around in this noggin, this massive noggin of mine. Okay, and I was like, fuck. So I go to bed after just dropping games, tanking my win-loss ratio. Oh my God, and I get up the next morning. I'm still infuriated, and then I see my sister standing in my doorway. She was like, "Did you lose last night?" I was like, "How did you know?" She was like, "Because I heard you." She was like, "Shut the fuck up." And I was like, sorry. I had to apologize to my family. And I got to work, and they said, "What did you do last night?" And I said, "You know what?" I said, "I got mad." And I got mad again. And I let them know at work that losing 8 games in COD is unfucking acceptable. So you know what I did?
See this, guys? This is why I'm dead inside. Because I refuse to let an outside source make my emotions go fucking crazy. I've done that too many times. I'm done doing that shit.
That's okay. And I hope that, you have some life.
Competitive gaming was never in the cards for me, and I don't give a fuck.
And that's okay.
Watching sports on television and getting upset by somebody else creating fucking their dreams while I'm looking at it, like, that's crazy to me. Now that I'm thinking about now that I put it that way, that's fucking just insanity. That's the definition of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That was my fucking relationship with the Washington football team.
I understand, and I think,
and now they're doing fine now, and it's like, it's gonna happen. When's it gonna come all crashing down? Because I've been conditioned. I've been socially engineered that, like, we're gonna be up this high and then we're gonna fucking fall again.
And do you know what's crazy? And while you say that, is that as somebody who listens to the local sports station religiously every day, after the wild finish to the game last week, where it looks like the Bears were just gonna steal a win, Jaden Daniels launches one of the best Hail Marys that I've ever seen. I mean, ever.
That motherfucker's got a rocket arm.
Dude, they should call that shit the Landover launch, bro.
You know what I thought?
That's what they should call it.
Okay, don't try to name things. What I thought about when I saw that play, I was like, nobody said it, so I'm gonna say it here first. You remember the game 500?
I do. I know exactly what that is.
That's what that play was. That was 500. That was them fucking back in the fucking schoolyard, or not the schoolyard, or wherever the field or wherever you fucking had room to play the game. I don't know if I've heard there's different terms for that game.
What, 500?
In different areas.
I believe that.
We call it 500. Mostly East Coast, I think, is 500. I don't even know how to ask the question. Like Epic, what do you guys, did y'all ever play that game where you throw, like, you have one person who's like the quarterback, I don't know whatever you call the person, the thrower.
Yeah.
And then everybody's at the other end, and whoever catches it, you get like points. So yeah, because you're going to 500.
Yeah.
So if you catch it, you get like 200, or if it bounces off, I forgot the.
Well, the thing about schoolyard rules is that
they called it 500 too, but I've heard it called that it's called something else other places. I just don't know what it was called. But anyway, that play, if you go back and look, I mean, you've probably seen it because it was all over the fucking internet.
I've watched it like 80 times. I'm not gonna lie to you,
bro. It was everywhere.
Yeah,
it was a beautiful fucking play. But. And it was funny because I was watching Cam Newton. He was talking about, Cam Newton, the best thing he could have done was start a podcast. I can't watch the whole thing because he just be rambling about shit sometimes. But some of the clips that they have where he's like breaking down quarterback play, it's like, damn, bro. Like,
very intelligent.
Yeah, I was
very intelligent.
And he didn't get his just due because people hate him for whatever reason. You hate him because he was a Patriot, but he was also
I didn't hate him because he was a Patriot.
He was more of a Carolina. No, I sent you a meme recently where and it had nothing to do. It was just a reaction he had. It had nothing to do with what he was. You were like, ew, Cam Newton. I'm like, damn, why you hating on Cam?
I don't hate on Cam. He's very talented.
Anyway, his podcast 4th and 1 is fucking. Well, the clips that I see when he's breaking shit down is fucking crazy. He'll be like football 101, and then he'll go into like what the play is. He was like, the quarterback can see blah blah blah, and the defense is. Hey, bro, it's wild. It's
and
crazy.
Honestly, and I know I'm not the only one, and I know this might not be a popular opinion, but that's I think one of the reasons I like actually listening to Tony Romo on commentary.
That's what Epic just said. He said he's the best announcer.
Yeah. He literally called what they were going to, not before, the play before the Hail Mary.
Now, I'm going to tell y'all this. Y'all say that right now. And a lot of people are hating on Tom Brady. I haven't really heard it because, again, I haven't been watching. But people have been hating on him. But I guarantee you, the way that man's brain works, he is going to be the best announcer.
I will tell you, when I heard he was going to commentate, I was actually excited because
they paid him a lot of money.
Yeah, no, dude, it's Tom Brady. Like, let me be serious for a second. It's like you have literally the greatest quarterback ever. Now he's commentating games. It's like, oh, now you can pick the mind of like the genius, like and all that. And I will say I've watched 2 games with his commentary, not the full way through, but seen bits and pieces. He doesn't do bad.
He probably sounds like every other fucking new announcer.
I think he's just trying to learn how to. If anything, I think he needs to be a little more loose, a tad bit, just a tad. But his knowledge of the game is, superior to.
Well, I can guarantee you right now, he's not going to be loose.
Well,
that's just not his personality. Well, when it comes to football, I don't think he can be loose.
That's true. I mean, the way he kind of honed in on the game for as long as he did, that is understandable. Yeah. But at the same time, hey, man, you're retired. You have 7 trophies, 7 in your lifetime, like yourself. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Him and Lewis Hamilton both have 7.
That's nuts. It's literally nuts.
Hopefully, next year, Lewis can get this fucking 8th so he can fucking go. I mean, I don't want him to retire, but he got to get the 8th before he goes.
Yeah, no, that's kind of how I feel about the Steelers. But anyway, it's all right. Calm down. But I think when you watch what Washington has done in recent weeks, and it's going into, like, that game was dead in the water, then out of nowhere, like, God rains down on Landover, and
I happy. You know the crazy part. I don't remember what I was doing, but I just happened to have turned over to the game, like turned the game on. I don't remember what the fuck happened. Was I out? I don't know. Either way, somehow I just happened to come upon watching the game. I might have been at home and streaming or whatever. And I was just like, let me see what's going on here. Oh, no, I was at my mom's house. That's what it was. And I was just like, let me see what's going on with this game. Because she's got regular TV. So like, I was like, oh, watch football for once.
Yeah, it's okay, man. It's all right.
And I wasn't even on that long. It was toward the end of the game because I saw the score, and it was toward the end of the game, and I was like, this doesn't look good. See, this is what I was saying. This is about the normal fucking shit. And I was standing up, and my mom was like over here by the stairs or whatever, doing whatever. And then I looked up, and they're running, trying to. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, well. That's good.
How many successful hair millers do you really see?
Exactly.
Honestly?
I was like, there's game. And then he fucking he runs, and he fucking throws that motherfucker.
He stepped into that fucking thing, dude.
Oh, yeah. It was one of those, like, old school where you try and throw as hard as you can, and it's like,
Yeah, dude. He really, dude, and with the rib injury he has, too, I mean, I'm sure that, or how
it's probably
subtle
not as bad as
everybody makes it out to be.
And he probably took some cortisol. I'm not done yet.
That's all right. That's all right. I would, too.
So then the ball's up in the air, and I'm like, oh, shit. And then I see the guy, like, lingering behind, because I'm looking at everything. Bro, I played football, so I kind of know what to, like, a little bit look for, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, let's see what's going on. I look back, I see the guy, and I'm like, well, if they get a lucky bounce.
Yeah.
And then that motherfucker tapped it, and then he didn't even try to swat it down. He just fucking tapped it up.
If you've ever played defensive football, you swat down.
Yeah.
Don't tip the ball.
And then I was like, oh, and I fucking screamed, oh, shit. And my mom's like, what?
Yeah, dude, me too. Dude, so my mom's in the kitchen cooking. My sister, who's been kind of getting a little more into it this year, which I'm really proud of, by the way, was watching the game with me, and we were just having a nice Sunday afternoon, having our drinks, and we're watching football. I was laying down on the couch, and then, the play starts going, so I sit up, and, I'm like, oh, man, is he really going to – dude, I swear the moment it left his hand, I felt it. Like, it was super weird. It was
I kind of had something, too.
It was just like – I was like, they're really going to lose like this? I was like, nah. I was like – and then it just goes and goes, and I'm like – and then you see Noah Brown just standing there, and I'm like, oh, my God, the guy's by himself.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now, those fucking – and we could look up the stats on this because they're fairly new, but black uniforms, all black uniforms, it's something to that shit. Because look at the Jets this past week. We don't talk about football or sports normally, but –
no, it's fine.
The Jets,
it's actually very welcoming.
The Jets just beat one of the fucking best teams in all of football.
Dude, the Texans look like crap on – dude, that first half – I watched the whole game. The first half of that football game, whether you're a Texans fan or a Jets fan, was atrocious. Aaron Rodgers looked horrible. C.J. Stroud was sacked 8 times in that game.
All right, you're going way too far.
Yeah, I was just saying. But regardless, but you're right. So they had on their black uniforms, which look cool, the black and green. But the Washington ones are fucking dope too.
I remember when the Saints first started doing that shit, and I was like, yo, those are bad as fuck. Like that was when the other man, Drew Brees, was quarterback.
Hey, dude, a very talented individual. Holds
yeah, you give him all the fucking props, but you say you fuck Tom Brady, huh? Is that what we're just sipping?
No.
It's sipping our tea now? Is that what
well, I think I don't dislike Drew Brees because he's in the NFC and I didn't really ever have to worry about him.
Oh.
I always had to play Tom Brady. I hated that shit.
Sound like a fucking you've never had to play Tom Brady in your fucking life. Shut up.
I would go out there and I would dominate.
You'd strap up the fucking. I'd put my chin strap on and go out there and try to knock his block off.
Yeah,
shut the fuck up,
dude. I would feel like Al Bundy going against his nemesis, spare tire.
Speaking of that, I want to give a special shout out to friends of ours.
Sure.
I saw their Halloween costumes. Rihanna and
Manny.
Yeah. I was trying to think about the fucking costume. So they posted a picture, or Rihanna posted a picture of them dressed as Al Bundy and Peggy.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, first of all, where the fuck did you get a jersey that says Poke High 33 on that shit?
It's got to be at least 10 grand, baby.
I was like, whatever costume. No, it wouldn't be 10 grand.
I know.
You could get it made, but it was just like, I was like, oh, y'all went. That's 10 out of 10 for me on that one.
No, and it just shows that our friends have good taste and good television at the end of the day. And speaking of Halloween, I hope everybody had a nice Halloween.
For God's sake, we can stop saying spooky season.
Yeah, now we're in. Now you ready to get fat?
Pumpkin spice season.
It's all right. Yeah, pumpkin. Yeah. Wait, the burn in hell pumpkin spice. But I want to talk about candy for a minute.
Oh,
so we don't.
I got some candy stories for you. Go ahead.
So at work, while I'm working, I go up into our showroom, and they've got little buckets out for customers and, or employees. And I'm like, oh, candy. I don't eat chocolate much anymore. I really don't. But I was like, let me see what they got in here. And they had gummy bears. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So I got a little bag
of
chocolate. I know it's not chocolate, but it's still candy at the end of the day.
Okay.
So I got a little bag of gummy bears. There's only 4 in the little bag. So I had to still there's 4 fucking gummy bears in a little bag. I was like, what is this?
I'm going to tell you right now, gummy bears don't do it for me.
I mean,
they never really did. Like, I would eat them, but it's like, what the fuck are we doing right now?
Yeah, I mean, you're basically shooting like a rubber band.
Yeah.
It's really what it is. But I don't know, something about a gummy bear, and I did have some milk duds. I will say that. You want to talk about
real gummies, like THC gummies? I fuck with those.
Oh yeah, those are the best quality gummies.
I need to get some.
Honestly, so do I. Send us drugs. Regardless, so I'm pissed. I'm like, okay, there's only 4 in here. So I start digging in the bucket. Now I'm being like super kid fat ass. And I find like 3 more bags, and I stuff them in my pocket because I'm just a savage. And then I asked my boss. I was like, hey, I said, where'd you get all this fucking candy from? She said, I got it from CVS. She said, I got $8 a bag. I was like, that's crazy because I went to the store last weekend before Halloween. This is before Halloween. They want just a fun bag of mixture of Twix, Kit Kats, whatever it is. They want $22 for a bag of candy, bro.
What store was this?
Dude, it was Wegmans. It was almost everywhere I went.
Well, yeah, dude. They're going to do it right before the yeah.
Oh.
Bro, everybody knows you don't buy shit like right when the thing's about to happen.
No, it was
you
like
buy
this,
it after.
Like this for weeks.
Same thing with not just Halloween, Halloween decorations, Christmas decorations. Like, you buy the shit you're going to use the next year the day after the fucking day happens.
Yeah, I get that. Well, dude, I'm not buying Valentine's fucking chocolate like the day after.
Well, not chocolate, but...
You want some chocolate.
But, you can't really buy roses.
Let me not say it like
First of all, fuck... don't get me started on commercialism. That's why I don't like Halloween. And the amount of motherfuckers... Yo, this is... I'm going to make a bit out of this. But the amount of motherfuckers that call fucking Halloween a fucking holiday has gotten out of hand. They'd be like, hope you guys enjoy your holiday. Happy Halloween. Shut the fuck up. It's not a holiday. It's just a fucking day where a bunch of fucking grown-ass people want to put some goddamn costumes on.
Well, I would say, if anything, if
and
it's not
ladies, I do appreciate your costumes. Don't. You guys, I'm not mad at you guys. I'm mad at the people calling it a holiday.
Well, it's crazy. I
saw
that
incredible one that I sent you. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, dude, I stopped by the gas station last night. Hold on.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
My favorite costume used to be what's the name? Is it Daphne from Scooby Doo?
Yeah, Daphne.
No, Thelma.
Velma. Velma.
Velma's the orange, right?
Yes, that's correct.
That used to be my favorite costume, like the sexy version of that.
Yeah.
Nah, son. It's Miss Incredible now.
Yeah.
Miss Incredible is a wild costume to be rocking, especially if you got the... Never mind. I digress.
No. As we all enjoy pound cake here on the Mad Scientist Lab podcast.
What the fuck?
No, but I got off of work last night. It's funny you brought that up. I went to work, this is the day after Halloween, all right? And so I stop at the gas station, I get some gas, and I just happen to stick my head up, and there's like 6 chicks who are just dressed in some God only knows what. And I'm not trying to stare. And all I know these.
Well, they wouldn't have worn them if they didn't want you to stare.
Well, I also don't know the age of these people. They could be in their early 20s. You know, I'm in my mid 30s. Like, I'm not trying to be creepy. You know,
okay.
you don't know what these.
First of all, 20s is what?
20s is fine, but I'm saying I did like I'm not trying to say like you have to be like a year younger than me.
So,
but I don't want to be like overly weird and just be like,
well, you're already that guy, bro.
You are also already that.
Yeah,
guy.
no shit, and I've accepted it.
Okay.
The other,
I'm glad we agree.
So I was out at, I saw Godfrey at the DC Improv on Halloween, and I was coming out, and I saw this group, and I'm like, is this what DC is now? Like a bunch of white kids? Just no. I'm not saying because they're. It was just in my head. It doesn't register because the way I grew up, DC was like it's
White people in Chocolate City?
It's,
Absolutely
yeah,
not.
Black people everywhere, but these look like teenagers, like with all their costumes on, and I'm like, okay, it's fucking 10 o'clock at night, and y'all just out here. That we would never be doing that,
Dude. What? And on Halloween, no, you either go, you when in your teens. You go to some weird ass Halloween party where people are.
I mean, maybe that's what they were doing, but I didn't realize there was that many like young people that just lived in this. I'm assuming they lived in the city.
Well, with the metropolitan area, I'm sure they either live in the city or the surrounding area.
And they could have been in their 20s. I can't tell anymore. Like, but I was just like, what the fuck is happening to the fucking Chocolate City, bro?
And
gentrification, that's what's happening.
You know who would agree with you? Brent Hill. Shout out to Brent.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was gonna say is that, but they were dressed in whatever Halloween garment you would like to call it, and I'm not again trying to say I'm just trying to pump my gas. I'm not trying to pump my pud. All right.
Okay. Keep going.
So, I thought that would be smooth, but it wasn't. But they walked by, they were like, "Hi," and I was like, "Hello," and I just kept pumping my gas because I didn't know what to do.
Oh, you were over here.
No, I was my gas was not overly low, but it was low enough, so I actually just stopped by the gas station by the Wendy's, even though it's overly priced. I only put I only put like $10 in, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But they waved like hi, and I was like, hey, how are you? And they just kept walking, because they were like right in my face, and I'm thinking, all right, don't turn around, don't be weird, or anything, and I didn't.
Well, it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because
I was gonna stare. Not gonna lie.
Okay, so Godfrey literally said, and he was saying everything that I've been thinking because he was. What were you talking about last week? We were talking about something last week, and he brought it up. The same fucking thoughts that I had, but anyway, he was talking about how the Me Too movement has made it so like we don't even want to look at women anymore.
Dude, I was terrified.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, oh my God, how dare you look like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
put it this way.
Even though we're not creepy dudes, like that shit made it like everybody creeped the fuck out. Like now it's like, what do I do? Bro, I'm telling you, he went into the whole shit, and I was like, fuck, man, I wish I had thought about that.
Well, you're not wrong in that sense because I think my first initial thought was like, I don't know how young these people are at the end of the day. They're obviously old enough to drive to a gas station, but that doesn't really mean anything. But there was a point when, they're walking by me, they say hi, I was like, hey, how are you guys? Hope, happy Halloween-ish kind of thing. I'm pumping my gas, staring at the pump, and, I want to kind of turn around and admire a nice view, but I didn't because the last thing I want to do is be caught being, a creep, quote unquote. Yeah. It sucks because everybody likes nice ass. If I can open up my phone and look at ass on it, I should be able to look at it in person, especially if you're dressed like that. I know that might not be your intention, but if you've got a nice ass and you're trying to show it.
That's like the old Chappelle joke. Like, if you're dressed like a whore.
I mean, dude, I'm just, and I'm not trying to be like a fucking dickhead about this, like at all. Like, I'm not.
No, I know what you're saying, bro. Like,
it's like if you go to the beach.
Again, we live in an area where political whatever the fuck is always around. So it may not be like this in every part of the country, but like definitely on the East Coast, that is a thing. Like, like every guy who's not a creep is trying to fucking figure out how not to look like a creep because everything has been made out. Like, if motherfuckers understood the analyzation shit that that's not even a word, but Fuck it.
Analyzation.
The analyzing that goes on in a guy's head these days when it comes to just everyday interactions, like, oh my God, should I even talk to her? Like,
how do you like? It's
I don't know, whatever.
Talking to women's easy, dude. But the thing is like when depending on the scenario, like the one that I was in, it's like, should I like continue to talk? Should I like what do you want me to do? And this and before I go any further, this is not about having game. I got all the game in the world, baby, right here.
I'll be tell you right now, I don't necessarily believe in that shit.
I don't think people. I think Nas said it best, or the way I put it in my head. I don't have game. Bitches just understand my story. You know, people just get you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was just. It kind of sucked because they were very pretty young ladies, but I'm not going to go out of my way to be...
Basically, this is a rant on why you missed out on looking at some ass.
It sucked. It sucked. I just got off of work. I'm pumping gas, you know.
Yeah, that's the perfect time to see some ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know, bro. At the end of the day, we're still human beings. Yes, society has become... probably maybe a little over-sexualized. Hold on, I'm not done. So I think there's got to be some kind of leeway. Some people have to be able to balance. Like, everybody has to be able to figure out, like, look. And women, like, for real. If you're going to dress, don't be like, oh, I should be able to wear whatever the fuck I want. And that. No.
Yeah, shut up.
If you're going to fucking have your titties out and your ass out on the fucking street, what the fuck you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I was actually...
I'm not saying that somebody should come do anything to you, but you're asking for attention.
I will say this. I had a conversation with somebody 2 weeks ago. Somebody I know, young lady, and she was talking to me, but she had her kind of chest all in my face, and she's talking to me, and being a guy, I'm just kind of like, She's like, RJ, my eyes are right here, and I was like, I know that, and I had to snap out of reality, and I continued to stare into her face because it is so difficult sometimes not to look.
Wait, she said that to you? Wait, she said what now?
She was like, RJ, my eyes are right here, and I was like, oh yes, you're right.
Was she joking?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
of course. I've known this person for a long time.
But you also made it seem like,
that I was like just coming off weird.
No, you made it seem like that she was like, respect me.
No, not at all. Not at all. But it just goes to show that, to your credit, that when a woman is dressed in a provocative manner to a degree, I mean, you're going to look. I don't put it this way. Even if we were to get married, I think it's natural to look at anybody, whether you're a man or a woman. It's just a normal response. It's a normal response.
It's part of the human DNA. Like, we're supposed to.
Yeah, and that's okay. Now, to Jared's credit, he's not saying, neither am I, that somebody should approach you, harass you, do anything unwanted to you.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing he was talking about. He was talking about people catcalling, like. I just never thought, like, I'm not gonna be like, hey girl, hey cuckoo, come on.
Yeah.
That's just like, but that's the type of shit they do in New York.
I mean, some people like that, and it works for them.
I don't think not one woman likes that.
I'm just saying it might work for somebody. I'm not saying I do it.
I mean, there is somebody for everybody.
That's true, but
she's supposed to, bro. She's supposed to catch you looking at her ass.
Yeah, that's the point, and that's why, like, oh, this guy likes me. Yeah. Now maybe we can actually talk about something. Looking at your ass sparks conversations. Thank God for ass. That's all we got to say about that. So back to the candy.
Really? We have to go.
No. I was just joking. I just wanted to see how you would react to that. But we hope everybody had a nice Halloween.
I don't really want to tell the story, but let's just say there's a lot of candy in my house, and it's rapidly getting eaten right now.
Is it good candy?
It's all right.
So here, let me ask you this:
Snickers, Twix, and like.
Let me ask you
Three
this:
Musketeers.
What is the worst candy?
Black licorice.
You know what's crazy? I was going to say licorice as well. So me and you are
black jelly beans, which is black licorice.
Well, if you eat them alone, or if you eat them like Put it this way: if I had an assorted,
If
thing
I have an assorted, I will take the black ones out and throw them away. And that sounds very racist, but
it actually does. That should be a joke,
I think maybe somebody's done it before.
Well, I don't know.
See, I have a hard time because shit that I think to myself, I feel like other people should be thinking it. So I worry if I write a joke or I write a bit that somebody else would have said that before. So because I don't want to steal, I don't want to be accused of stealing somebody's stuff. But
No, and I understand that.
I could still turn it my own way because that is I'm all black power. But when it comes to my jelly beans, I throw all the black ones in the trash.
So
or make them work for me.
So it's funny.
Make an entire economy out of it.
It's funny you bring up jelly beans because jelly beans I don't think get enough credit. The black ones aside. Jesus Christ!
You said it.
No, you said it.
No, you said it first.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, Peeps' his ass.
Okay, Peeps. Okay, so
although I will eat them,
I will eat a Peep
because I like marshmallow.
Marshmallow's
but
delicious.
That coating shit, that fucking sprinkle shit on the outside is disgusting.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't eat a lot of them, but Easter is a big deal in some households like mine. And, you get some Peeps. There's 5 or 6 Peeps in a little package?
I don't fucking remember.
Well, neither do I. That's why I'm just kind of guessing right now.
You know what? And I'm going to say this right now. What candy gets fucking way too much slander, you fucking losers, is candy corn. Candy corn is a fucking amazing. It's just honey. It's just honey. It doesn't have any taste. It's because you don't have no fucking taste.
Dude, do you know what I used to do with candy corn as a kid? I would literally bite the color fractions off. I
used to do that.
Yeah. You're supposed to eat the candy corn by layer.
It's fucking honey.
Yeah, dude. It's
who doesn't like fucking honey flavored shit?
It's terrible, dude. Candy corn is incredible. Jared, me and you have agreed with the third thing in several years, which I think is amazing and why you guys should watch this show. But they also used to make little candy corn pumpkins, too. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, that's going too far.
They did.
It's too much of the orange part.
I think that's fair, but, just going from the normal-shaped candy corn, like the little, arrow kind of thing.
Or
the triangle.
Okay, so I have a little bit of a theory. It's a working theory.
All right, I'm listening.
Candy, if I like a candy, whatever form I get it in the first time that made me enjoy it is the only form that is the best.
I feel that's very fair. I almost feel like you could do that with a Slurpee as
well. Hold on, let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
For example, Reese's peanut butter cups, whatever you want to. I don't know if it's Reese's or Reese's. I don't remember.
Tomato.
There's a correct way to say it, but those fucking cups was the original way that I had. And Reese's Pieces, I had those. Reese's Pieces, I had those. Those were pretty good. But the cups were always superior.
They're going to be superior
now,
at the end of the day.
When you start making pumpkins and Christmas trees, now you're throwing off the proportions. Just because the shape is not, the flavor proportions are different now.
Yeah, the level. Do you know why? Because it's not. It's not circular.
Working theory.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's because it's not circular. It's just different, bro. I fuck up a fast break, a Reese's fast break. I love those, but they're still not a peanut butter cup.
So, what's funny? So we're talking about the actual peanut butter cups. There was a brand of the mini peanut butter cups that came out.
I'll eat those too.
But
I bought those on the way back from Texas.
Yeah, dude, they're like little pieces of peanut butter and chocolate. Who doesn't like the hell with all of you? But they have some holiday. I don't know if they make them anymore, but they used to have ones that were filled with jelly or jam.
Nope.
But
that is not a peanut butter cup.
It's not. It's not, but it gives you the idea.
That is a jelly cup.
It is a jelly cup. It gives you the idea. It's a peanut butter cup.
That is not what I want. I came here for peanut butter and chocolate. I did not come here for fucking jelly.
Yeah, and there's nothing like really pulling off the little wrapper around the rigid edges of the peanut butter cup as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a whole satisfying thing about it.
It is proportioned so properly. You're right. It's all about proportion. This is incredible how we've gotten here. But yeah, dude, there is nothing. So when you eat a piece of chocolate like a Snickers or a Milky Way, you take the wrapper off. But with the Reese's, not only do you take the wrapper, you take that nice thin layer of paper. We'll call it paper, I guess. And you just peel it off, and you know and you see all the ridges. You just know you're in for some chocolatey goodness. Absolutely, dude. Jared, good for you, sir. Thanks for being a stand-up citizen.
This is how my brain thinks.
It should be almost how everybody's brain thinks when we think about that.
That's why I'm a stand-up comedian, and they're not.
Yeah, neither am I, but it's all right. But it's okay. It's all right.
I'm the one who brings these thoughts to your brain.
Well,
and then you realize, wait a minute, I thought this all along.
Well, just like my whole soap antic earlier in the show, like I appreciate the way the peanut butter cup is packaged. It's packaged like a different candy. I mean, you take the plastic off. It's on the white strip of paper with the two folded edges to protect the ridges.
Now, I will say this, that peanut butter cup does come from a time when things were not equal.
Oh, God.
That is like an American staple that, like, every time I eat one, I'm like, damn, they was lynching motherfuckers at this time.
So let me ask you.
I got to write. That's a bit right there.
Now that you said that, I'm not going to eat any fucking peanut butter cups, dude. Because I'm going to feel like some.
What other? Well, hold on. Well.
Oh,
it's gone.
It's the spirit of Brie.
Yeah. She was like, take my shit down. Oh, because of what I just said. Fuck. What was I saying?
Well, you were saying that.
Oh, that's what I want to say.
You were basically calling me racist.
No, I was about to say, what other American staples come from a time when that shit was going on? Well,
I would say Coca-Cola, maybe.
Everything. McDonald's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, see, the thing is, and maybe this is to your credit. When I think about the dark portion of American history when it comes to segregation or even,
and everybody's gonna be like, you always bring it back to this. No, this is just, again, this is how my brain thinks. I'm just connecting dots. That's all I'm doing.
So, when you think of the dark, I try my best, believe it or not, to kind of shut that shit out of my brain. I don't try to research it. I don't. The reason being is that I feel that, say I was really angry with you, and I'm like, I'm angry with Jared. I'm like, oh, this fucking asshole, this, nah. And then, you have a moment, you calm down, and then say I do take the time and I turn on the TV. And then I've got the History Channel on for whatever reason. And then I watch something that has happened to a group of people, whether it's, no matter what race or religion across the world, it's like, you know what? This is fucked up. I don't really have a reason to really be angry about something. I don't. I mean, I could be. I think people use, I'm trying to figure out how to put this. When you call somebody a derogatory name, I think it is easier to do that than articulate a sentence, because I think that.
Well, no, it's clear. First of all,
it's a level of intelligence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was trying to be jokingly about.
Well, yeah, I was. Well,
but
no, maybe
yes,
I wasn't.
It is definitely a level of intelligence, and it is also. It's also ignorance. It's you, for whatever reason, you've chosen to feel a type of way about someone that's not like you. So I would say, yes, that's definitely an intelligence issue. Like, I not that I know any racists, like, unless they're blatantly racist to me.
I'm just fucking with you.
Like, I would. But then at the same time, you can't say that either, because there's people who have been at the highest levels of power who were clearly that.
Yeah, no. And I think my argument, or not my argument, but my kind of like what I was getting at is that you have people that like literally legit hate somebody for who they are or where they come from. And then you might have somebody who gets in a heated exchange and then calls somebody a name out of anger. And it's like, I think that's the easiest cop out in the world. It like at the end of the day, if you really think about it, and I don't know if this is going to resonate well with anybody, but words have meanings, words have power, but at the end of the day, it is just a word. Whether you want to let it affect you or not.
The old saying,
sticks and stones.
Yeah, may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
But that's easy for me to say because, I know you personally, obviously, and I know a lot of our friends, and I just know that some of that shit just simply obviously doesn't fly regardless. So I don't take the time out of my day to go look into the bad things that have happened to others. In that I mean, I understand it. I know. I think a little bit about it.
I know what you're saying. Cause
I might not be saying it the best way.
I know what it is. And I was joking with everything I said.
I know.
Now you brought it to a serious place. A lot of it is guilt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see that because I don't want to think that's basically how it would have been. Like, we wouldn't be in this fucking room talking.
Yeah, this is literally like a groundbreaking effort, 60 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
yeah,
I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
No. There's white and black.
This is not the first podcast, nor will it be the last.
Never.
But yeah, some of it is probably a little bit of guilt, and that goes both. That kind of goes both ways. For whatever psychological guilt, certain people, and this, because I don't want to put labels on anything. Whatever psychological guilt certain people have for things that people before them did, there's also the psychological effect, or I don't even know what it wouldn't be so much guilt. The psychological, whatever the opposite of guilt is.
I guess rewarding. Oh well, no, that's no.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That still exists today in those people. So there's a lot of that going on, and I think. That's why when these elections come around, especially this election, that's why they've gotten so heated. So you should just vote for me.
And it's very important to remind all of you on any occasion, but this occasion is very important. The election is coming up. The American public needs to hear your voice, not mine, yours, because you hear my voice
You
every
did this earlier.
I don't care.
Jared Lee 2024.
Just vote for him, for the love of God.
Yep.
We'll be in a better place. I'll be in a better place.
I thought about wearing this to the polls, but I heard you shouldn't wear political stuff. Actually, it's my shit. It's like I'm running.
Dude, I almost thought about going out in front of the library and just saying, "Hey, who you voting for? I'm voting for Jared Lee." Like I was about to do some crazy hillbilly
well,
shit.
If you went and bought your merch, you could have had a hat. Or you could have asked me for this one, whatever.
It's all right. Don't worry. I'm going to do you right this upcoming week. But, I to kind of sum it up is just I feel if I were to look at, because I like to watch historical pieces too. Not all the time, but when I have to look at stuff like that, it's like, oh man, I feel sometimes we're so far past that, but at the same time we're not.
No.
Yeah, but we're not.
Certain places we're past that. There's some places where it's still not. There's still some institutions, and this is where this will be where the biggest rift comes as far. And this also is what could win. I don't want to name names again. A certain lady the election or lose it, I should say, because a certain part of the population remembers that she was a prosecutor in the system that has, and a DA or district attorney
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
in the system that has put a lot of said people in jail.
And it's tough because we really don't like talking about this shit. We don't, but it is very prevalent in what's actually occurring in real time. But it is what it is.
I want to get back to the funny.
Yeah, and we are going to get back to the funny. Let's LOL together. When you put it this way, I made a, I don't want to say a point, but I brought up last week how a certain president-elect is, or whatever it is, was on Joe Rogan's podcast last week. And I just thought, at the end of the day, whether you like the guy or not, I just thought it was really cool how he was able to sit down and just talk for 3. And I feel I learned more from that interview at the end of the day than a lot of stuff that I see on TV.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, but
I think that's important.
That's the point
of
why Joe wanted it. He didn't want it to be a political thing. He'll tell you straight up, and there's a lot of shit about him, and he's not always right about everything, but there's a lot of shit about him, and I think I said this last week, about him just out there, like, he's this right-wing fucking guy. Like, no, he's actually what most of us are, who have a bit of a thought process when it comes to certain things. Because, like, what a liberal was 20, 30 years ago
is much different now.
Is much different
Much different.
And it's the far woke.
It is. And he actually, in the few clips I've seen after said interview, people were asking him, like, hey, how did the interview go? Like, what did you learn? He was like, hey, I wanted to just to use my platform to bring on, obviously, such a huge public figure. He invited both of them. Got one, and he said, hey, I just want to sit down and see who you are, and, like, whether I like you or not, because he said a lot of...
A good service to the American people.
And that was, like, my big thing on that. I was like, man, dude, if they would just do this every election, I'm not saying with Joe Rogan, I just mean in general, just sit down and let these...
Nobody else could do that, though.
No, they can't, and that's the power
everybody
of
else,
that podcast.
If a news outlet tried to do a podcast, which they've tried to do versions of it, if they try to do it, they're gonna be biased just because we already know who they are. We know who's paying them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Joe Rogan is just. I mean, he's obviously a very popular, rich individual, but he started from kind of the bottom, the host of Fear Factor, I mean, he's come a long way.
He was before that. He was on news radio.
Well, see, I didn't know. I was young when Fear Factor and all that stuff was on.
He used to work with Phil Hartman.
You know what's crazy? I do know that. Now that you say that, I do know that. Rest in peace to Phil Hartman, by the way. But I just think as somebody who has always never been into politics, or even if you're not into politics and you don't know who to vote, voting is important. I can't believe I'm actually saying that, because at the end of the day, you have to make sure that you know what is going to be in your best interest. And I just feel it doesn't have to be a 3-hour sit down. It could be fucking 45 minutes to an hour and a half for all I care.
Well, she did do an interview with Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
She did. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, I know exactly what happened. Campaign management was probably apparently Joe said that the schedules just weren't mixed up and they wanted her to go somewhere else, or no, they wanted him to do it somewhere else. He was like, no, like, this is where we do my show.
Yeah. He was like, hey, no, I listened to it. He said, hey, I don't care what time of day it is. He said, if it's 10 o'clock at night, 3 in the morning, he said, I'll be there. He said, please, come over, tell me what is best for you, and I'll do it. And I could hear the enthusiasm in his voice. He was like, hey, I don't have a problem doing it on your time. He's like, at the end of the day, he's like, hey, man, I'm just a UFC commentator and a podcast host, and you are, the politicians. So therefore, I work on your time. Like, he was willing to admit that, and it just didn't happen. And she did go on Club Shay Shay. I only saw maybe 10 minutes of it.
I saw some. I'm gonna be real, bro. Her voice is annoying as fuck.
Well, that aside,
And I know that's not the reason anybody should vote for it, because you should vote for me. But
you motherfuckers.
I just don't know if I can hear that for the next 4 years.
Well, I also don't know. There's a lot.
That's a wild thing to say. There's be some mad people.
We're ruffling the feathers, as they like to say.
I don't think our demographic is very melanated anyway.
That's all right. Well, I mean, I'm glad to be here. Thank you. If that makes you feel better. But seriously, when you have something as important as this, especially in the economy the United States is in, you gotta just sit back and put all the propaganda to the side and all the
but people can't, bro.
They can't, dude. Like
This,
I try to avoid it as much as possible because I can see when people are pandering and they're doing this, and I hate it.
That's what I was. That's what I told. I was talking to Bobby B about it.
Shout out to Bobby
because we had already we were talking about it in Texas, like how he was gonna have him on Joe Rogan, or he's gonna be on Joe Rogan, and then I said it. I was like, if they didn't invite the other candidate, then that would have been an issue. But she was invited. So then I see a few days later she's on Club Shay Shay, and I'm like, I see what this is.
Yeah,
you're trying to get the black male vote to come back your way. Because that's his demographic, especially after that fucking Cat Williams shit.
Yeah.
And all the other black comedians that he's had.
The catalyst of 2024, really.
Yeah. Oh, bro.
Dude,
he called it. He fucking called it. He said the truth will come out in 2024.
Dude, I mean, shit, dude. If anything, dude, that is probably the most spot-on podcast of the entire year. Besides, a couple other ones I've heard.
He was a fat Faison liar.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Dude, we were talking about it. We were like, yo, like, this is like a really, like, it's such a raw interview. And you don't get that very often. I mean, you get a little bit here, but when somebody's like, hey, man, I just simply don't give a fuck.
I'll be real with you, because I've seen him on other podcasts. That was the most masterful, if you want to call it a performance, that I've ever seen on a podcast.
Dude, it's literally a top tier, dude. It has as many views as it does for a reason.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a diehard Cat Williams fan.
I'm not diehard, but I fuck with him.
Yeah, dude. Guy came out and he was just like, hey, you know, I might not be on the front line, but I know this shit. And he just spoke his mind, and you couldn't really find anything wrong with it. And that's the crazy part about it. Is like, hey, you know, the guy that they're always saying is crazy in the corner, you know, in the flak, you know, the stray jacket and all that. No, that's probably the smartest guy in the room.
Oh yeah,
you know, when it comes to certain, like, dude, put it this way: if you came to me and you said, RJ, I went outside last night and I saw aliens, and I didn't believe you for 20. Let's say this is the X-Files. I didn't believe you for 20 years. And it's a good show. Watch it.
No, I refuse, because it's on my house all the time.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
regardless, I like the theme music. But I'm sure you're sick of it. But put it this way: if for 20 years you could be fucking Russell Case from Independence Day for 10 damn years, he was like, I knew they'd be back. Didn't I tell you, Miguel? You know, and then he turns out to be the hero at the end. You know, flying his pilot ship into the core of the space station. And they're like, you know what? That's an American, a world hero, because he saved the planet. And then it's like, hey, that guy, they were all making fun of him at first. You know, it's like, no, that guy's right. That guy's correct. So, you know, if you got somebody who's...
Again, that's different. That's how humans are. If it's something that's not in their normal whatever zeitgeist, I guess, then they're going to look at it a certain way and like, oh, that person's crazy. But, nah, I mean...
It sucks because you're right. We're conditioned like that. Where we are conditioned in that manner.
Some people are. I try not to. I don't know. I try not to be. I don't follow the societal norms.
We know that. We all know that.
I try to stay away from them as much as possible.
And I do too. But when you have,
it's the lemming thing. I don't want. And they shouldn't teach you that shit as a kid, because maybe that's why they teach you that shit. they tell you like, look, we're on one thing. You're supposed to follow this thing. But at the same time, they don't tell you what actually happens to these motherfuckers. They push each other off the cliff and kill each other.
Yeah, it's wild, right?
Yeah, so it's like, why would I follow the rest of the crowd when my ending is gonna be with them?
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Why? I should be going somewhere away from them.
100%. It's like, hey, you see these guys? You see them jumping off a bridge? It's an old school saying. Hey, is that Tommy? Yeah, that's Tommy. If Tommy jumped off a bridge, would you? No. But if I didn't,
that was a cop out too, though.
Yeah, no. But at the same time, if you didn't say that to me as a child, and I didn't have that in my head, or at least in the back of my head, and to some degree, maybe I would jump off the bridge with Tommy. You know?
Yeah.
To that degree. But put it this way, I remember I was I think it was like the 5th or 6th grade, and, you know, you get your spelling book, you know, for English and, you know, whatever curricular.
All your stories are from school.
Because I'm an intelligent man.
That's not. First of all, that is not the scale and judgment of intelligence. Just because you can fucking regurgitate what the teacher said on a piece of paper does not make you intelligent.
I've always been the smartest man in the room.
It makes you able to fucking regurgitate information. You're memorizing.
Yeah, I get that. But that's not the point of my story. What
intelligence is critical thinking.
I am
figuring out a problem.
I can figure out all problems.
No.
I'm going to save world hunger. And
figure out how to put this back together. Take it apart and put it all back together.
I will.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I will. If you gave me 20
and I'm not saying that I'm intelligent, but again, it takes a level of critical thinking.
No, but the level of following. So, like, what kind of popped in my head, I was in the 5th or 6th grade. I get my spelling book. You know, you open up the pages, and you had to learn, I don't know, how to spell, like.
Oh, shit. That was sorry, Epic. I didn't know that was a bit. I haven't seen bits in a long time.
What is it?
He gave 1,000 bits. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
That was an hour ago. I didn't know what. I thought it was one of those messages that Londa, like the little things where RJ can't say shit.
So, I remember opening up the book, sitting at my kitchen table. I'm going down the list of these. I think it's like 10 words, and it's in this old, you know, elementary school styled book, you know, with the rigid spine and all that shit. And the word I came across was prejudice. And that was a word. That was a word that they were teaching in elementary school when I was younger. Mm-hmm. And I'm at the kitchen table with my dad, and I'm reading it. I didn't know how to pronounce it. I swear to God.
Whites only school?
No. My good friend was Sammy Kasim, Jaron Glover. What's up, brothers?
My good friend was a black man.
And I am also a black man. You know.
Okay, no,
it's okay. I'm not.
Stop it.
All right, Jesus. But
you wish you were.
Well, if I said no, then I'm deemed like
no.
I don't know how.
It's okay to say you want. Bro, I tell you what. If you're laughing, but look, this is gonna be some deep emotional shit. Not even really that deep.
It's all right to cry on this show.
But and you may not even think it, that you have it, but if I had the same privilege, and I'm not going to call it what everybody calls it, but if I had the same privilege as me, I would have been a fucking rich fucking motherfucker already.
Well, it's funny you say that is because, one, I'm not, so therefore...
I'll be having bitches on yachts and shit.
Well, one day I will have bitches on yachts, and I can stare at their ass, all right? Because they're going to be on my yacht because of all the money I have, and they're not going to care.
Just don't have fucking baby oil around.
I haven't used baby oil in quite some time.
If I have a yacht, let's think about this. If I have a yacht, and I got a bunch of money, and I got a bunch of women on my yacht, I think I'm going to have some baby oil around.
I mean, dude.
Let's just be practical about this.
I mean, it's very practical. I mean, you want to rub the oil on the ass and everywhere else.
And they're going to be, oh, could you put this on me? Come on, man. Let's be real about this shit.
Yeah, Jared's not wrong.
Let's be real about this shit.
Rubbing oil on ass is American.
I don't think everything that's being portrayed is what it is. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all right. That's all right.
Now there could be some wild shit, and if it is, then he goes to jail. Him and R. Kelly can make music together in the fucking cell block C or whatever.
You know who killed me the other day in COD? Diddy. There are so many people that have a variation of Diddy's name.
See,
in COD.
this is lemming shit.
Yeah, there. See,
That's lemming shit.
that's why I brought it up.
Like, you think because you change your gamer tag to fucking Diddy that anybody gives a fuck? You're not cool, bro. You're not fucking original.
Yeah, I hate that. That's why I love being the dope man, baby. Even though that's my
Come up with your own shit. Like, carve your own path. Like, ugh.
So
I hate
to
normalcy.
to when you were to your credit when you were talking about like the whole people following. So I get to the word prejudice in my spelling book, and my dad looked at me and he said, "Hey," he said, "I don't really like that word." You know, like seriously, he was being dead serious. He's like, "I don't think it's a good word for you to use," or like in that regard. Now, obviously,
What would have been the alternative word?
So this is the kicker, is that we had to use that word in a sentence. So I had to figure out how to use the word prejudice in a sentence, and I didn't know even how to say it, nor did I know what it meant.
Okay. Now, let's...
Yeah, so...
hold on. But, however, there's an alternate meaning to it.
Yes, 100%. And that's
Okay.
what my dad was trying to teach me.
Okay.
Because his first thought...
Not the one, not the specific, the one that comes straight to your brain. It means, like, I could be on trial for something.
So dude, it's funny you say that. That's the example that my dad gave me. He said, "Hey, you know, basically this can mean a few things." He said, "But this is the way you should write it." And I wrote something like, "Hey, the defendant was prejudiced against the jury." Like he literally used like the court of law as an example, because I think that's where it's used the most.
And that's where it came from.
And I understand that, but also it can be misconstrued if you're not informed, and it could mesh in with the word racist or levels of racism.
But, I mean, it is.
It is. And so I think what my dad's idea
Actually,
was...
I think that word has gone away.
What, prejudice?
Yeah.
Which is...
It's just straight racist now.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Anybody who doesn't like a group of people is a racist now.
Yeah, you're not prejudiced. You're
first of all, let's get real. This is going to get touchy.
It's all right, dude. We've done enough of them.
Yep. I don't think you can be racist towards Jewish people.
You know,
it's not an ethnicity, it's a religion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
I just want to fucking put that out there.
Yeah, no, I think because the idea, it's not so much they don't like the way you look, it's the way you operate.
Yeah, exactly.
In that sense.
And that's prejudice.
Yeah, and that is prejudice. And that's kind of what my dad was trying to tell me, or at least teach me, because, I'm a young mind soaking things up like a sponge. My dad's flaws, God rest his soul, I don't think he wanted me to have the idea that this word means that you hate people, like of where they come from. That kind of thing.
That's any good parent would probably try to do, like,
try
to make their child understand that.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to Dad.
Now think about all the families who wouldn't do that. It's just like sometimes it could be that little thing that sends the child to fucking become a police officer that wants to shoot black people.
Yeah, no,
you know what I'm saying? Or brown people, whatever. I hate fucking talking about this shit because
I know I hate talking about it too. But I think with everything that's in the last several years, and as much as we've touched on certain subjects on this show, it's okay. Like, this is our podcast. Like it, don't like it. Me and Jared are still gonna do it. Get over it.
Pretty much.
No, but I will say that I appreciate as I've gotten older, especially around my birthday, this time of year, because my dad's birthday is in a couple days, and I just think it's like I'm glad my dad, as much as he loved me and took care of me and spoiled me, he was such a hard ass with me sometimes with certain things, and I am so fortunate for that, dude. Really, 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 I am. And sometimes if you're out of line, you need a swift kick in the ass, and that's all it is. And that'll make you think differently. You can't go around shouting derogatory anything towards anybody for any reason. Well, you had a bad day. Well, I had a bad day too. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go bake garlic bread with my mom, and then I'm going to bask in the buttery goodness,
I
the marinara.
I think a lot of people don't really, and I think as I've gotten older, I've started to do it. It's like you always talk about, oh, put yourself in that person's shoe. You heard that growing up.
Oh, yeah, 100%, dude.
But you're not really taught what that means. Like, you have to kind of experience what that means.
I think that's fair.
Learn through wisdom what that means. So, like, if somebody goes off on me, yeah, I might be upset because they went off on me because, I don't know, whatever my childhood trauma is, I fucking internalized criticism from other people. That's why I do stand up, because now I just want to fucking make everybody laugh. Like, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of it is just like, wait a minute. He was upset about he had a bad day. So whatever, even though it wasn't my fault, he's choosing at this point, they, them, he, whatever, she, are choosing this moment to vent whatever the fuck is going on in their own fucking head. Which you got to be careful of, because some motherfuckers are just can't control themselves.
No, they can't, and it sucks. I'm not, unfortunately, I'm very guilty of this. I think we all are to some degree of kind of expressing yourself at the wrong time in the wrong place. But what that does, I think, for most people, if I had to kind of tone it down a bit, is to just kind of, one, go into Jared's, idea of what we were taught is, hey, put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Everybody's cool until somebody gets upset. And then when somebody's upset.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's how life works.
Yeah, it does.
Everybody's cool until somebody gets upset.
Dude, it's a slogan.
One person. That one person, and everybody else is fucked.
But here's the thing: when somebody does vent, it's what comes out of their mouth. Whether you're going to think, okay, this person is just out of their mind and just being too much, or this person has a point. So you're either going to get one or the other. I think. I feel sometimes when people vent, sometimes they are not. They know what they want to say and don't know how to say it. And then sometimes and then I feel sometimes if lightning strikes a bottle or lightning in a bottle and you were able to get it out the way you wanted to get out, and then everybody's like, you know what, that actually does make sense. We're sorry.
No, well, again, that it comes down to being able to control and regulate your emotions. But again, from my own perspective, I've only learned that through age and experience.
Same, 100%. I'm very guilty of these things myself.
But that's why you see when I fucking when everybody's like, "Well, how come you don't watch football? Like, who's your team?" I'm like, I'd lean toward Washington, but I don't give a fuck if they win, because you know why? Because I look at myself in the past and how I would act, and my week would be ruined by something that I have no control over.
Yeah. And
that's just, now at this age, it's like, bro, that's wild. Like, why do I let other people affect how I feel? Now, that's not to say, like Lewis Hamilton, he won Silverstone this year. It was a big deal because he hadn't won in a long time, and it was a whole shit. So, yeah, I got excited about it, but it was just something that it was more of like putting myself in that person's shoes. Like, yo, he's been struggling the last few years. All he wants to do is get this 8th world championship so he could fucking roll the fuck out and enjoy the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Because he's got a lot of fucking money.
Must be nice.
Bro, you got to think. He's getting paid hundreds of millions from F1, and the amount of sponsors that he has is ridiculous.
One day, sir. Don't worry. We'll be there soon. I promise.
The amount of money this dude has, you will never see that.
Dude, if he gave me like 1% of it, I'd be cool. I'd be cool. Is what I was trying to say.
Anyway. So yeah, like I just don't. I try not to let outside influences control how I feel. And then I also, and here's another thing that I learned, and probably in my last relationship. It is okay for me to be upset with the other person.
Yeah, dude. Dude, if somebody's pissing you off, dude, fucking tell them, dude. Fucking tell them.
But it's always been like, in relationships, for me, it's always been like, oh my God, this person's upset. What can I do to make them feel better?
Yeah, you don't want to put bad energy in the air.
It's just no. You're not hearing what I'm saying. It's like it's me basically being a people pleaser. Like, what can I do to make this person feel better because they're upset, and it must be my fault that they're upset.
Yeah,
that's how I used to think. Now it's just like, fuck, man. I could be if you could be upset, I could be upset too. And like, if you got a problem with it, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's probably, if I'm upset, it's probably a legit reason why I'm upset, and you don't even give a fuck enough to figure out why I'm upset. Who the fuck are you?
And we got 2 words for you, Jared Lee.
Yeah, whatever. But hey, these people, whatever. They guaranteed have gone out and they're in the same type of dynamic. And it looks all good on the fucking top and the fucking on the surface.
All that shit looks good, dude.
It looks good on the surface. But I'm telling you right now,
I had a good conversation with our buddy Cheeto last week. Shout out to Cheeto. Before you arrived, I talked to him for an hour because you just like to take your time.
That's not what happened. First of all, I didn't think he was going to show up.
I do remember this obviously because he has been anticipated for a while, so I understand that logic. But he was telling me, he said, hey, man, what have you been up to? And I was like, well, man, I'm just working. You know, I do the pod on weekends. I've been kind of being a homebody the last, 6-7 months for the most part. And he said, why? And I was like, well, I used to go to, go to certain places and, after a day of work, like, let's put it that way. It's not going to places. Like, when you get off of work, the old blue-collar shift, you want to sit down and have a beer. Mm-hmm. But you sit down, and then everybody's throwing their problems at you, 100, left and right. And it's like, well,
that's why they're there, though. Yeah, in the first place.
Which is a very correct statement, and I feel is very valid. But at the end of the day,
the same exact reason you went there.
I go there. No, dude. Put it this way: I used to go to the bar.
You're going there to vent.
I'm going there to take the fucking whatever is going on in my life away for an hour or two.
And that's why they're all there. But then they start getting lubricated with the Diddy juice.
The Diddy juice.
And then
call it puffy juice. It sounds better.
Whatever. They get lubricated with the Diddy juice. And then that's when it was like, the fucking Peter Griffin. You know what really grinds my gears? Yeah. That shit starts coming out.
Yeah, and I think I was at a point where and I love all my friends. I really, really do. I do. But I didn't want to hear it. And I don't want to hear it, bro.
That's why I've been trying to tell you that shit.
No, dude, but I didn't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear your fucking problems. I got my own.
Yeah. And
don't offload your bullshit onto me.
And so I didn't want to hear it. And it's not knocking anybody because I feel like when anybody, I don't want to say especially me, because this can happen to all of us.
This is why I only hang around certain people, though.
And that's fine. But you learn that as you
when I get together with Clay and the Widdits, like, bro, like,
it's all good.
It's all fucking. It's just fun, and we're just like I'm telling you, I don't laugh harder than I do when I'm with them.
Shout out to David and Cam, by the way. What's up, dogs?
All day.
Yeah.
And Clay. But,
OG. Here we go.
But and then we just find random shit when we're out, and it's just like
Well, hey, put it this way. I feel the same way, and then sorry to be a repeat, but when I'm with Clay or Tara or, a shout out to those, if we go to a game, whether we win or lose, we go up there, we're excited. We don't talk about any drama or nothing. We're you're right. We're driving by. It's like, hey, we're driving by Lake Titicaca.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just stupid shit.
Yeah. and you're good. It's like, all right, this is normal. And when you have to go out, and granted, again, to backtrack a little bit, we're all guilty of expressing ourselves in the wrong way. But I think when you realize that you've done it too much, or it's like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, and you see other people doing it, and then they're doing it to you, not to you directly, but it's like, oh shit, it's like, this is why this is not good for me. Like, in general, it's bad for your spirit, dude. It's so bad for your soul, bro.
Well, here's the other thing. Like, not just people dumping their...
And I like to listen to people, too. Don't get me wrong. I
don't fucking...
No, dude.
I barely tolerate listening to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we've got 258 episodes to prove it.
Yep. But it's not just them dumping their problems. It's when they don't like how you're moving for whatever reason, and then they put that shit on, like, they just explode onto you.
They have a problem with your happiness, is what
I
it
think,
is.
Yeah.
They have
it's like, there's something over here that they wish they had, so they're like, you know what, blah, blah, blah. So then they start going at your flaws and shit. Like, oh, I told you that in confidence. Like, you was my boy. Nah, we not homies now.
Yeah, and so it's funny you say that. When you get to that point, I have learned that when I'm happy with anything, whether it's a relationship or a hobby or even doing this podcast, I don't tell anybody I'm happy, because the moment somebody sees you, especially if they're being miserable, they are going to try to suck all that life out of you and put it back into them. And
misery loves company.
And just like the good old, all the sayings our parents said, they have some formality as we get older.
Yep.
You guys were right. We're sorry. I'm sorry.
Some stuff I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Yeah, it's all right. Sorry. Don't worry.
Sometimes you got to put it on them. Sometimes they fuck up too.
Yeah. No, don't worry.
They're just getting through life like the rest of us.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
That's the other thing. People got to start realizing that your parents were not and are not perfect.
No, 100%. I agree with that.
They're just like you, trying to fucking figure out what the fuck this rock that we're floating on in space is. So you got to give them a little grace. But don't accept, once you realize you've been mistreated, and I'm not talking about like extreme cases of abuse or whatever, but once you realize that, oh, this is what that was, and it was not good, like, yes, hold them accountable. I'm not saying like, I don't even know how to explain what I'm
No, I know what you're saying, though. So, like, since I know what you're saying, you don't have to explain it.
Jeez, thanks.
I was trying to help you out there.
They might not know what I'm saying.
Well, they might not. But regardless,
who
when
you fucking Captain Kirk again?
Dude, I've
they might not know what's going on.
Dude, dude, come on, bro.
I just rewatched those.
Yeah, come
I told
on,
you I
man.
rewatched those.
Yeah, come on, dude. That's easily
Great
like
movies.
It's easily like a top 10 scene or quote ever. Like, literally. I mean,
yeah, if you don't know that, we can't be friends.
Yeah, and
if you don't know, God,
yeah, just fucking raging William Shatner.
We can't be friends.
You're not doing right in life. You're really not.
And it probably shows. if I'm not hanging around
does.
you, it probably should. No, it shows.
Dude, you can tell. Like, put it this way. So, a coworker of mine. Actually, I'm not even going to do this. I'm not even going to do this because the reason being is because it's going to come off. It's going to come off as mean, and that's not my intention. Yeah.
However.
However. However, hold on. It's gonna come off really bad, dude. And I don't mean. Don't put it this way.
What you should have did was not say as a coworker. You could have just said, "Is this person that I know?"
This is true, but I'm drunk and I'm not thinking before I speak because that's
okay.
well.
That's what a podcast is.
No. Well, it's hard for me, and I really feel I am gonna leave this alone. I'm
leave it alone because you said it's hard for you. And
yeah.
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Yeah, I don't want to put it. Okay, here, I'll do this. Here, I'll use another example. Put it this way: when I meet a couple, say you run into a friend of yours, and it's like, hey, this is my girlfriend, or hey, this is my boyfriend, or whatever it is. I feel like the moment I meet your significant other, like my first time meeting, I can tell the type of person they are, like immediately, like 5 minutes of talking to them. Like, and I know that sounds crazy and judgmental, and it's like, oh, hey, you can't do that.
Well, no,
you just get certain vibes from people.
No, yeah,
yeah.
I mean, no shit. That's not judgmental. I don't understand.
I just want to come off as a prick, saying like, oh, I know everybody that I talk to.
No.
That's what I was kind of getting at.
No, man, we're energy. Like, what do you think? Once we're out of this body, we don't cease to exist because our own science has proven, like, and you could tell, you can see it in the fucking universe. A black hole, yes, it's sucking in all this energy. We don't, but it's still becoming a part of the black hole. So that energy's there. It releases pulsars, which is fucking X-rays and all this. It's energy is never destroyed; it's only transferred. So we may not know we exist outside of this, but we're still here. That same thing still radiates from us. That's some people call it aura. Some people call it I'm just vibing with this person.
Yeah.
You're vibing because you're on the same frequency.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, right?
Yeah, no, bro, trust me, I'm into all that metaphysics shit.
I feel like when I run into certain couples, and I'm not even talking about anybody that we know. I mean, just random people that I know personally. That when I meet, whether it's a man or a woman, it's like this person's they seem off to me. And when I say off, I don't mean like in some creepy manner, but they just don't seem all the way there, or man, what am I trying to say?
They're there for something besides what they're saying they're there for. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Because I just had another example pop into my head.
So
I'm thinking about that.
And to me, I have no problem with it. People are going to do what they're going to do.
Especially if you
I can just tell if somebody's bad for somebody.
Yeah, especially if you're friends with that person before, and then you meet them, and then it's like, no, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're preying on whatever the weakness this person has, because you know them. You know what I'm saying? You know that you've been around them, you talk to them. So
you know that person. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you for helping my brain.
No, because I see it, and again, I'm not gonna go into any of it, but I've seen it, and it's like, I don't think you should be doing. But that's just, again, assuming everybody has the same heart is different.
And it stinks because I think unfortunately, all of us learn that in life, whether you're, when you want to put effort into something and it ultimately doesn't work for you.
Motherfuckers, a lot. And I don't know, again, I have not experienced it in relationships outside of here. But for the most part, any relationship that I've been in, and I'm talking about intimate relationships. I'm not talking about just friends or whatever.
I got you.
I have seen more of what can you do for me and not what can we do for each other.
Yeah, dude. A relationship is a foundation. You're supposed to help each other grow, and I mean
But some people, it's just all like, I want to take whatever the fuck I can get, and I'm gonna get it. It's a very I don't know what the word is.
It's just a shitty narcissistic mind. It's
Yeah.
just, it's
Yeah.
just
I don't like to use narcissistic.
no. Do you know why?
But that's what it is.
No, do you know why I don't like using that word? One, I think that word
It's
is
overused.
It's overused. It's way overused. It's just like toxic masculinity and all.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you mean being a man is bad for me? Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Oh, so my testosterone means nothing until I'm fucking putting a kid in you and I'm marrying you.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going out to make the fucking money so you can shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I got some internal fucking shit, bro.
Yeah, it's okay, brother. That's why I'm here for you. All right. That's why we're here for each other and here for all of you. Let me ask you this. Have you ever thought, since we kind of touch on these subjects, that how should I say this? That, put it this way, I know you and you know me, and I know that when I'm incorrect, you tell me, and when you're incorrect, I tell you. But if I'm not around, do you know you're incorrect? And if you know that you're incorrect, how do you fix it? If that makes any sense. Like, in terms of, say you get into an argument with your significant other, and you are at fault because we are. I don't want people to think that me and you are simply two dudes with massive balls.
No.
You know,
No.
massive balls.
No, I don't have massive balls. I have a massive cock. But
Yeah.
me
too.
Anyway,
It's all right, I guess. I don't.
He was a fat Faison liar.
It's okay. Don't worry.
I am very self-analyzing on a regular basis. So much to the point, and this is a fucking psychological, therapeutic, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So much to this point where I always end up blaming myself. Again, this goes back to probably childhood fucking bullshit.
I think we all do that. I do
No.
that.
No.
All right. Oh shit.
We do not all do that.
No, we don't.
People who are self-aware normally, and also /people pleasers, are normally the ones who end up blaming themselves. Like, oh, wait, I could have done this. I shouldn't have done that. But at the same time, we're not looking at what the fuck they did.
Yeah.
Because we're only thinking about how did I fuck this situation up? Because it was probably growing up, it was always our fault. And then, I don't want to say, I don't want to include you in my shit. This is just me.
No, that's
Again,
okay, dude.
Self-analyzing myself. Like, again, I've been doing a lot of this shit recently. I just fucking like, yeah, you know what, maybe I could have done this. But then, wait. That person ain't perfect. Because none of us are. How the fuck do they get a fucking pass?
Yeah, fuck your hall pass. I'm the fucking.
Like, they get a pass? I should give myself a fucking pass. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe, however, whatever reaction I had was because of something they did.
Now, let me ask you this, because I 100% agree with you, like tenfold, like 10 toes down. All right, Dan. When, put it this way, when you like you're a self-analyzing person, I know you are, and I can be the same way. I might not be as
I'm very critical of myself.
Me, dude. That's I don't want to say that's all of us.
That's why I barely put out any clips, because I hate watching myself and listening to myself on video and camera. Like, I barely edit this shit. Well, I don't want. Like, why did you make that face?
Well, no. So I think that's where you're overthinking a little bit, because you're
100%.
Well, I will tell you this: when you initially approached me for the podcast, like, you know, I've always heard, like, hey, you could be on the radio, you could do this, you could do that. Like, hey, that's cool. I've never really thought about it. But then, you know, we do our first podcast sitting, you know, on your couch in the basement with the mini fridge and all that
stuff. Those were
stuff.
the days.
Yeah, good old days. And it's like, oh, fuck. Like, I'm nobody. I'm the fucking local pizza guy that drinks at the same bar like, who the fuck am I? Like, who am I? Like, I am nobody better than the next person. And then we're getting up on this platform. It's like, hey, we have something to say. And it's like, oh, dude, do people care what I have to say? Do they give a shit? There were a lot of thoughts.
Judging
in my
by
head.
the numbers recently, no, they don't. But
I will
guess
say,
what? We're still doing it, motherfucker.
I wouldn't. Hey, and I don't want to talk about this numbers thing. I'm glad you brought that up because
I know I paid way too much attention.
Well, it's not even that. No, you paid the correct attention. I think what it is at the end of the day is that we have done this for so long and so consistently that people know that we are here. And as much as we would like to be the 8 o'clock primetime slot for most people, that's not always the case. Maybe some people are working. People do have lives. And I always try to factor that, putting myself in somebody else's shoes and stuff like that. Put it this way. When I tell anybody, like, hey, I have a podcast, and like, really? And I'll take my phone out, like, hey, this is my buddy Jared. And the first thing that comes out of my mouth, I said, this is a United States Marine that I do this.
God.
Yeah. That's
Just
what I
tell
do.
everybody my business.
Well, dude, I mean, it's going to be a thing, and it is a thing, but
That's not the biggest thing about me, buddy.
No, I know
Tell
that.
them I'm a stand-up comedian. I prefer that.
That's okay. I'm
No,
okay with
that's okay. I tell them that instead of don't lead with.
Well, this was before you were doing stand-up, so it's like, hey, this is my buddy. He likes the same things I do. I was like, he's also a Marine. It was like, yeah, he's a solid dude. And I said, this is what we do. And they're like, hey, we like this or we don't like that. And it's like, hey, that's cool. I appreciate that. But when you get into the logistics of numbers and just the views or the audio or whatever, and I know you look at that stuff obviously 100% more than I do. I think.
Thank you for the 100% part.
The 100%. Here, I'll give you.
I don't think you know any numbers.
I don't, and you know why? Because I prefer, because of the way my mind works. Because if I look at numbers, I might be like you. And I'd be like, oh, man, what can we do better? And then we're going to overthink everything, and then we're going to stink.
I mean.
So, dude, if I know that.
Unless you're improving, you're fucking standing still.
Dude, I think we've improved fucking
100
million times.
Oh, the wood.
Bro.
The wood is amazing.
It's all about the wood, dude.
That's thanks to Epic, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for your wood. All right. I mean, it's
God.
probably Wisconsin wood if we think about it.
Maybe.
But I just always, I know you kind of get on my ass sometimes about certain things, which is understandable.
I told you, in the past, I was very.
The last 4 years have been hard for all of us. That's why you need to vote for Jared Leigh.
Yeah.
2024.
But yeah, at the beginning, I was definitely a fucking hard ass.
Well,
you got to say I have calmed down a lot, especially between in the last 5 years. I've calmed down a lot.
Me too. In the last year, even though we are partaking in adult beverages, and I might be drinking seltzers, and you guys can poke all the fun you want at me. But I have a more.
Did you see what I posted yesterday?
Yes, I did. Don't worry. I didn't react to it because I knew it was for me.
Well, the joke started because of you. I just happened to use it for me being on stage. Like I was getting introduced, and the guy was a white dude. And I was like, yeah, Dan introduced me to White Claws. But that joke started with, yeah, my white friend introduced me to White Claws recently.
Yeah,
and I'm like, why do we got to have these fucking stupid fucking flavors like blackberry and mango? Can we get some black flavors?
Dude, I'm telling you. It's really the only flavor I really care for. I mean, there's one or two others
We need, like I said, Hennessy flavor. Go to my Instagram and follow me on Instagram, Jared Leigh Comedy, LEIGH.
But when you do, when you look at everything that we've done, which is really great, and I know that your mind is like, hey, we got to have somebody here in this third seat. Grogu is still tipsy, by the way, for those who are watching.
Yeah, because I don't know. So it's weird though. I tell you this.
But from your before
recently,
go ahead.
The number, and I hate fucking looking at them because it annoys me. But then it's like a small dopamine hit, like which I'm chasing. That's ADD. I'm chasing that fucking dopamine every 2 seconds. But anyway, I forgot.
That's all right.
ADD just kicked in again.
That's all right. So when I think about what we started doing so long ago into where we're at now, the amount of people that have come over. I mean, the amount of local, like, really, I don't even want to use it. I
Don't
will
say
use
legends.
No. I will use the term like local celebrities to agree. That have come over, have sat down with it. Dude, we do a good thing here. And when I look at, dude, I'm telling you, when you post
Coach
a show.
Hill was definitely still one of my most epic ones.
Oh, dude, having that guy over here is like literally like.
We might have to hit him up again.
I will have no problem.
You know what I want to ask him about?
Tell us.
This thing that's going on at our high school.
You know what's crazy? That would be an excellent conversation.
Yeah.
And I will do you a service tomorrow, and I will personally reach out to that gentleman and see what he says.
Yeah. Sit and ask him if he would be willing to talk about that.
I am completely okay with that. He is always. I mean, the guy is literally like a hero. So
that just came into my head.
I would love to have him back over. I would love to have him back over.
You know what? I just thought about somebody else who's very close to that situation. I don't want to announce it yet.
That's okay. That's all right. Okay, I got you. All right, I see that. I see your sign language over there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. No, but when you have, dude, put it this way. That conversation we literally just had just shows you the magnitude of our show. Dude, we had arguably one of the greatest wrestling coaches in the nation.
Yeah.
The nation. Dude, I will.
Definitely the state.
Yeah, I will stand and, I'm not no, I actually am a kind of a diehard wrestling enthusiast, and obviously
Okay, first of all, your wrestling is not the same.
I understand that, but I also still watch regular wrestling too.
Do you even know the rules?
I know. I would say 98% of them.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Like I get it. Like what I watch is a show. What they do is a sport. Okay, there's a difference. I get it. But I think when you can have somebody of his caliber, or some of the other people that have been on the show, I think
Let's not forget about Mike Bozelli.
Yeah.
Even though they're fucking expensive now.
So I was a little upset. I'm not at Mike. Maybe I was for like 10 minutes.
You got to pay that waterfront rent, bro.
I know he's out.
that Georgetown waterfront rent.
So my mom calls me yesterday at around 1:30. She said, "Hey, I'm getting my hair done." She said, "I'm going to Bozelli's to get a salad. Do you want anything?" And I was like, "Oh, well, absolutely, of course, especially if you're buying
I
it."
do like that salad, but without the olives, that shit.
My mom's not eating bacon right now, so she'll eat the olives. I'm not an olive guy myself, so I 100% agree with you when it comes to that. But she said, "Hey, do you want?" She said, "You want something?" I said, "Yeah, of course." So she brings me the Metro. If anybody know what the Metro Italian sub is from Bozelli's, it's layered with fucking meats and lettuce, onions, tomatoes.
I don't eat that one because it has salami on it.
Yeah, it's got salami on it. But I will eat salami if it's layered with something else. That's me. I will not eat it by itself.
Salami has an aftertaste that I just cannot fucking.
Well, that's why you fucking douse that shit in vinaigrette and be super fat. But she brings me a sub, and big ass sub, and I'm eating it. I'm like, man, this is fucking good. And it's like, God, I love eating just a big ass sandwich from a good local place. Makes me feel good in my, my soul. At the end of the day, it really, really does. But do you know what disappointed me? The reason I was angry, I wouldn't say angry, but was not even disappointed. Regardless, I actually almost told her to get me a small, spicy Hawaiian pizza, which he had for a while.
This fucking guy with this goddamn pineapple shit.
So I know pineapple on pizza is a huge no for a lot of people, but what he had was the toppings were the same.
He got rid of it because he realized that's not fucking pizza.
No, dude, the spicy garlic
The
sauce,
soccer
dude,
fucking pizza is fire though.
I haven't had that yet.
Pretty good. I think it's spicy too.
The spicy garlic sauce on this pizza was fucking fabulous. I mean, I would have eaten like 2 of them.
There's another one that has a spicy sauce. Not the marinara one. I can't remember the name, but there's a couple that's got the spicy ones on it.
I wanted that pizza so bad, and they were like, "Hey, we don't have it anymore."
Speaking of spicy garlic, don't get Cholula the garlic hot sauce because it's not spicy. It's just garlic, fucking whatever the fuck else they put in there.
well, be careful because your ass will regret it.
No, not Cholula does not fuck my ass up. I need to finish that one. Pause.
Cholula does not.
Let's do this.
Call of Duty. Call of Duty. That's how I like to say it in my house. when
Not
you're
Black
around.
Ops though.
Dude, Black Ops is great.
Okay, relax. We're not doing that.
I know. I'm just telling you. I'm having a lot of fun with it. But we have come so far, dude, and I am so proud of everything that we've done. And I know it might be like poking a dude. We are as crazy as it sounds. We are only just beginning. I feel our last 10 episodes are probably some of the best episodes I think we've ever done. Like, period.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, like, period. Because I think what's happening is we know who we are now, or what we're trying to be, more so than because we've paved a road. We're putting bricks down, we're putting the cement in between, and laying the foundation for what we want to do. And, we are on episode 258 episodes. Crazy shit.
That's
dude.
a lot.
That's a lot. Even if we're not nationally known, barely locally known, whatever, it does not matter, dude. Because at one point in time, somewhere along that road, you're going to get to a stop. They're going to be like, oh, hey, man, you came all that way? Well, here, come down this way. And that's what's going to happen. And I'm going to feel that in the pit of my soul until it happens. I don't care if it happens tomorrow. I don't care if it happens next week. I would like it to happen tomorrow because
Trust me, I'm tired of being broke too.
Yeah. So and to Jared's discredit, this is not a money. I mean, it is a money thing,
Well,
but at the end of the day, it's not.
I'm just trying to fund my trips to go and do comedy in other places.
We don't have to be the best podcast in the world. We are the best.
For me, this
podcast in
is
the
like
world.
bouncing back and forth. Like if the comedy shit pops off, this will start to pop off.
Yeah, because you're doing like 3 jobs at once, right? You're doing your regular everyday job.
That's what I do. I'm like a fucking Jamaican. See, this is what.
Shout out to Jay Joseph.
He's not Jamaican.
I know. I just miss
This
him
is
very much.
This is what kind of annoys me. I don't know what the word. You know what? I don't even want to go into that. But I've been doing this for a while. Like when I was working on my bachelor's and master's, I had 3 jobs and working on those fucking degrees. So yeah, I'm doing fucking 3 jobs. I got my day job. Let's go 4. Jiu-jitsu also. That's work.
Yeah, dude. Anything.
I'm not getting paid for none of this shit. I'm paying for everything that I do. Like all my hobbies, I pay for.
What kind of America is this? That's why you vote Jared Lee.
Yeah, like, at some point, the grind has to pay off, bro.
Yeah,
Like that's just what it is.
Here's a good old-fashioned scenario for those that aren't vocabulary specific, such as myself, is that if I took a pickaxe to a rock in the middle of Wakanda, let's use Wakanda.
Wow.
Okay, hold on, because Wakanda is a sacred place.
If it existed.
If it did. Okay, so we're going to take a pickaxe to a rock in, let's say, Utah. Here we go.
Okay.
I don't know. That was the first thing that came to my head.
Crazy Mormons are.
Yeah, let's say Wyoming.
They do have, you know what? They do have a good idea, though. Like, I wish I could have, like, 7 wives and just smash them all and leave loads and they don't bother me ever.
And
That'd
the
be
idea,
great.
that is a great idea. However, it's probably not good for the other people, even if they want to be a part of it. It's got to be bad at some point in time.
What
like
other people?
I'm talking like so say I have 7 wives, right? And I sleep with all of them, which like is obviously a win for me, and they might feel it's a win for them. But at some point down that road, I feel like somebody's gonna be like, "Hey, you know what? This isn't cool." Like, you know what I mean?
No, because that's what they know.
Yeah, that's what they know now.
What do you mean? They still know that. That's why Utah exists. What are you talking about?
Is Utah based upon sex of Mormons?
No, man, not
Oh my
sex
God.
of more.
Oh
Oh
my-
my God, Utah. It's a lot of Mormons. It like polygamy is legal there because that's their religion. They went and settled that area, and that's their
which
shit.
is fine. But I just feel like I just feel like that would somewhere down the line be a problem in some capacity.
In your fucking whatever your normal or what you consider to be normal society says, yes, it would be a problem, but it's not a problem to them because obviously they wouldn't still exist if it was a problem.
Well, that I get. I understand that. But I'm saying in the day and age we live in, even if it's for religious purposes, which they're going to follow, I just feel somewhere, even if they don't say it, somewhere in somebody's mind is going to be like, hey, you know what? Maybe this ain't cool.
Well, I'm sure, and they probably left. It was like, you know what? Fuck Utah. So anyway, back to your pickaxe.
So you're digging with a pickaxe, and you start grinding, you start chipping, you're out there for hours. If you've ever seen the movie Holes or read the book Holes, the first hole is always the hardest to dig.
Hey, Diddy, he read that book.
He did. Jesus Christ. Shut the fuck up. So you're digging with your pickaxe, and then you're out there.
Hey, Diddy.
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Not only do we get James Earl Jones, but Eddie Murphy in one sequence. Therefore, you are blessed. But one day, put it this way, if I went out and I hit the same rock with the same pickaxe for fucking 6 months, saying, I know it's got to be here somewhere, and everybody's like, oh, hey, these guys are crazy, it's like, oh, let that guy dig over there. And then the moment that you hit there and you strike that gold or that oil or whatever it is that's comes spouting out of the ground or whatever glistening shine that it may have, everybody's like, oh, shit, this motherfucker isn't crazy after all. This motherfucker's been digging for gold. And when you have gold, you've got, you got everything, bro. All right.
Great story, bro.
I think I thought it was good.
I get it. I don't care about this shit though, dude.
We do a great job. And I don't want to, argue or anything with that. Yep, thumbs up. I like my thumb. Look at my thumb move. Look at it move. So when I use, what is this, my left joystick? Yeah. Regardless. But I want to remind everybody that before we depart this evening, because that is happening, your duty as an American citizen is to get up this week.
He said duty.
Duty. I won't use the word C-A-L-L. Get up. No matter who you vote for, it should be Jared Lee. It is Jared Lee. Get up, do your due diligence. Make sure that when we get up the following day, we feel more proud about our choices.
I will drain the swamp. I am not a crook.
He's not a crook. We are not crooks. You guys are the best audience in the world. Thank you for listening to episode 258 of the Mad Scientist Lab podcast with Jared, Lee, and RJ. Catch us anywhere you get your podcasts. That is Apple Music, Spotify, all that good stuff. Every Monday at 9 a.m. sharp for the visual on YouTube. And just like always, we will see you guys around 6:30 next week here live on Twitch.
Your presumption is correct, nigga.
Peace. Oh, my God.
Hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab.
You can't have an opinion on something that you haven't even tried.
Exactly.
The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab.